So, we've been on a streak of really good movies, so we decided to go out of our way to see
Blart Mall Cop 2. Now, the sequel to Paul Blart Mall Cop. I should probably start by saying that I have seen the original Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Unfortunately, I have too, and I don't remember when, and I wasn't sure if I'd seen it until the beginning of this movie.
Well, let me specify.
Did a little recap.
I didn't mind the first Paul Blart so much. It was silly, but like there's enough about Kevin James. He kind of had like almost a John Candy quality where he was goofy but maybe lovable. But anyway, I don't think it was like Casablanca or anything. I just didn't hate it or any. I was like, okay, that's fine.
I think it says a lot that I couldn't remember if I had seen it or not. Like my memory was just Kevin James on a Segway, and I didn't know if it was just from the trailer and generally being aware of the movie, or if I had watched it. But I think I did watch it because I remembered the wife, which we see at the beginning of this one.
So, to recap, Paul Blart Mall Cop's about Paul Blart, and he's a mall cop. And this one picks up...
He's still a mall cop.
And he's still a mall cop, and his name is still Paul Blart. And when the film starts, he's married. He actually married the girl he fell in love with in the first film. Spoiler alert. But then she divorced him
6 days later.
Very abruptly, and then his mom got hit by a milk truck and died. So...
A very dark beginning.
Yeah, it was just, holy hell, Paul Blart, are you okay?
I think it was just kind of indicative that the actress probably didn't want to come back for Paul Blart 2, so they immediately got a divorce at the beginning of this movie.
All these people are like, we're not coming back, just kill us.
Yeah.
And then the plot is... Paul Blart goes to Vegas for a security officer convention because that's a thing.
And right off the bat, just any movie where like the kind of like the gimmick of the movie is that they go to Vegas, like that's not
well,
watch out.
Unbeknownst to Mr. Blart and the rest of the security officers from various malls around the country,
as well as the high-tech security team that works at the hotel.
Yes. At that same hotel where the convention is going on, there is a evil mastermind who's planning to steal the art in the hotel, and he looks like a poor man's albino Matt Damon, and he's trying to steal art and
from a casino hotel in Las Vegas.
Correct.
Let's make that clear.
And he, obviously had some trouble because Paul Blart was there. Basically, this is like Die Hard for idiots. Or it's like Home Alone, but dumber. And instead of a child, it's an adult. It's really sucks.
It's amazing how far they can go with the idea of a fat guy in a Segway.
I mean, constant fat jokes, just relentless. At one point, he's playing craps, and he puts his money in, and then he loses all his money at the craps table, and then people at the craps table go, "Fat guy ruined it," and then someone else goes, "You suck." It's like, oh my God, Paul Blart, are you alright?
She's big too, and they made it like a point of pride. He's like, those Blarts are big or something.
Yeah, it was like the Nutty Professor, like with the clumps, like
yeah.
It was just like never-ending fat jokes. Everybody was so mean to him, like,
and he was like constantly rolling around.
He was a human punching bag. It seemed like they got lazy and like they'd be like, okay, let's get Blart to like fall over, or maybe maybe we could get him to funnel some cookie dough or perhaps eat a stick of butter. We have time to kill.
It's like, oh yeah, you need some sugar. Let's go have him like lap up some drops of ice cream.
Yeah,
like a fatty.
like sugar is like his. It's like Popeye has spinach and Paul Blart has sugar, and so like he like licks up ice cream
and then he's ready for action. I mean, it's so terrible.
And you know what? I was thinking, as mean as everyone in the film is to Paul Blart, probably the meanest person was the writer, and then it turns out Kevin James wrote it.
He's a co-writer and a co-producer.
Constantly like just, I mean, it was just like, it was weird because it was just Kevin James was getting kicked by horses or falling off a building, and then in between all that, he's eating. Awkwardly. Like they have one scene where he's like in a dramatic showdown, he's eating a biscuit
just
the
like
whole
really
time.
Proud of like the way he moved, like just.
And
constantly moving weirdly.
Also, his daughter is the only person in his life he has left since, he got divorced, and then unfortunately his mother was hit by the milk truck. And she, at the beginning of the film, gets accepted into UCLA, but she's afraid to tell her father because he doesn't want her to go there. He wants her to stay near him. And even just like if she wants to leave the hotel room, he's super protective of her and makes her like have a walkie-talkie so he can listen in on whatever she's doing. And he's very selfish and didn't care about the UCLA thing, like didn't want to hear about it. And I remember at one point I thought to myself, when did Paul Blart become such a dick? Like, why is he such a dick to like his sweet daughter? And then the only scenes they have together, they're both like just gnawing on food because that just is so funny. And it was weird going into the theater because Evan and I were like the only people there.
It was like a 12:30 a.m. or 12:30 p.m. screening.
But there were some adults there who laughed their ass off the whole time.
There's clearly an audience for Paul Blart.
Could not get enough. Like one
guy's calling it out. Like I heard like 3 or 4 times the girl going awkward.
Yeah, and they go, oh my god, he's gonna get kicked by that horse. You're right, he was. And they would just laugh it up. And one of the characters' last name is Gunderbutt. And, they say the last name, and I heard a guy in the back of the theater go, oh, Gunderbutt.
Yeah, there are a couple of guys behind us. Every once in a while they thought something was funny, they would just repeat it and, like, laugh. And
right.
It's like, as easy it is to hate this movie, it has an audience, for sure.
And the thing is,
although there were two little kids right in front of us with their mom,
they weren't enjoying it as much as the adults were.
They didn't seem to have any interest.
Even they were like, "This is really silly.
Yeah.
Like, why are you making me sit through this?" But the adults were like, "Whoa," it just was relentless, like fat joke, or he like asked someone, directions to the elevator, and they like just punch him in the face for no reason.
Well, what ends up happening is his daughter ends up at a party with a guy she likes. That's in like it's like a shared room, like a shared suite with the bad guys that have like this top secret mission. She goes out to take a phone call, and then she like goes in the next door, and there's like guys with guns, and they kidnap her, and there's like in a party right next door. It's like, if these guys are so top secret, why did they get the room right next to the party with teenagers?
Oh god, and why did they kidnap her?
And then the guy she's into does the exact same thing.
They hit it off quick. He's the valet guy, and then as soon as he was the valet guy, he was like,
well, and then
I'm in love
there's something with like large people getting attractive, like getting hooked up with attractive people, like, because like he's got Paul Blart ends up like in this love triangle,
the most beautiful
thing.
Brazilian woman ever, for no reason, just decides
no
she's
reason
in
to go
love
for him,
with
but
Paul Blart.
he's so defensive that she falls for him,
and
for some reason.
There's like all the malls in the country sent their representative to like this mall security guard conference, and it was just like each one sent a stereotype. Like there was like a Hispanic guy, like a sassy black girl, and then there was like an Italian guy who had like gold necklaces. Then they had like the Indian guy who was like, oh, I don't know, right. It was just like, oh my god, this is so.
And they were all pretty large.
And one,
I guess that's a joke, is if you're a mall cop, you gotta be fat.
Yeah, and you gotta be stupid. And it's just, it's like Home Alone, because he sneaks around and takes care of these bad guys.
The Home Alone moment, too, is there's like, as part of this convention, or as a separate thing, I wasn't sure, there's like a whole like market of like mall cop weapons. And they were all just like Home Alone inventions. There's like a beanbag shooter.
It was like a marble shooter.
Like a sticky gun and the marble shooter. I mean, there's actually a gun that was like a marble shooter. There's a cop.
Except in Home Alone, at least Macaulay Culkin's
He's
charming.
a kid. At least he's like
kid.
6 years old.
There's like a group of adults who just can't figure shit out. And I know it's silly to get mad about that because it's Paul Blart, but I was just like, fuck this. Like, fuck this stupid fucking movie that makes fun of fat people. Fuck that. It's so dumb. And Kevin James, you're better than this. I think.
I don't know.
What are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. And you're not just making fun of yourself. You're making fun of all fat people. And you're just abusing yourself. And it's dumb.
Yeah, he's like trying
to make it... And you adults in there, what's the matter with you? they get to vote. That's terrifying. Those people in there get to vote and drive a car and have kids of their own. And I'm kind of upset
about this movie.
I'm just upset about it.
One thing that I thought was really interesting was he finds out his daughter's kidnapped. And then he just takes his time going to get her. He gets distracted by all these things.
Well, he had that time out in the bulletproof briefcase.
Yeah. Yeah, who makes he's like, turns a corner, they're like in a mall within the hotel, which was like his thing. He's like, all right, home team advantage. And then there's like, he looks over and there's like a store selling luggage with a big sign, bulletproof luggage. Who buys bulletproof luggage?
Why was there a mall there too? There was like 7, it was the biggest casino in the world.
Also, casinos have cameras freaking everywhere.
Yeah, they were stealing the art so easily.
And Paul Blart's like fighting off bad guys constantly without the main security ever knowing this is going on.
And they set up the hotel security as if they're like the Secret Service.
Right, like they're like
amazing.
Yeah. And then he like goes and gets distracted in like a Cirque du Soleil thing, and like the whole time his daughter's kidnapped. You think and she tells him right off the bat where she is. She's in the presidential suite. But he goes on like 30 minutes of misadventures trying to get to her, and then like figures out who they are and what they're there for, and decides to like steal their art. They stole her daughter. It's like, wait a minute, just go get your daughter. Like, why are you going for the art, and now you're trying to get vengeance on this guy, and you don't like just go save your daughter. You know where she is. Call the security guy. Hey, in the presidential suite, there's some guys with guns. You should do something about it.
Yeah.
Your security team in Las Vegas in a major hotel. I'm sure you could hit a button and, the military will fly in.
I should say, the villain's weakness is oatmeal because he's allergic to it. And so, like...
I like how the villain thought he figured out Paul Blart's weakness, too, by overhearing his daughter talk about how lonely he is. And he's like, ooh, like, he goes and uses that against him.
He's like, you're lonely. Like, he's like, your mom got hit by a truck. It's like, hey, man... Also, I wouldn't be so hard on like a children's film, but I don't think this is straight up a kid's film. It's not necessarily marketed that way.
I wasn't sure,
and it's fine for kids. Honestly, like they should enjoy it.
Bad values.
But I think that's what bothers me is it's just so much like fat people are dumb. And
but then it's like, but they can get like the hot women and they can be you can be successful even if you're fat and awkward.
It's not.
That's a weird
there are
message.
Better kid movies out there to see. Like it's not the
message.
Plot points and leaps it takes so much as like the steps backward it took from the first one. Because at least in the first one they didn't harp on it the whole time, and like he had a little bit of like the poor man's John Candy about him with the first one. I felt like.
Did you notice like
I kind of felt for him, and this one I kind of didn't. He was just like, you idiot.
Just retreading. But did you notice like a lot of the dialogue? I guess it was just bad editing or bad acting. Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes, but there's like some really awkward beats like throughout the movie, like where like they would land a joke or a line and there's a weird pause and you're wondering why they kind of like took so long. Like I noticed that a lot. Did you notice that?
And I thought I was
the movie really
for
awkward.
A joke. I'm like, maybe I missed the joke. No, I didn't miss the joke.
A little bit.
It was just not there. I think they were.
Yeah, like sometimes I couldn't tell if it was a bad
laughs.
joke or if they just didn't know how to deliver it. I mean, they were all bad jokes, but still, like there was a weird pacing to it.
Yeah,
like,
it was
just
very strange.
The whole thing was just kind of off and awkward.
And honestly, it took a long time for the plot to really kick into motion. I was like, are we gonna be here for 3 hours?
Right.
And then it finally starts, and it's kind of,
Because obviously, okay, you're gonna send the mall cop to Vegas. He's gonna get in some hijinks and drive a Segway around a hotel. And of course, they up the Segway. They have like a Batmobile version of it.
He found a super scooter, and
like that's his thing. It's like, how many movies do you think they can? I mean, I wonder if they'll do a third one. It's like, how many times can you have a fat guy in a Segway and that still be a joke?
Probably because it was relatively crowded for 12:30 on a Monday, and it was.
I think there were more people there at 12:30 on a Monday than when we went and saw Ex Machina.
It's like, haha, there's a butt at the end of his name. Oh.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm just trying to sell. I'm not above it because it's silly, because I admittedly like Paul Blart Mall Cop. I admit that. I enjoyed
the first Paul Blart.
But the second one...
For fans of Paul Blart,
yeah,
you might skip the second one.
Don't see it. It's upsetting.
Although if you're fans of Paul Blart, it's pretty much all you got. So you kind of have to go see it. I mean, if you're a Paul Blart fan, I mean,
It reminded me
you
of,
gotta
like,
see it.
in Tropic Thunder, they have all those fake trailers at the beginning of the movie, and Jack Black is like that horrible comedian who has all those movies called The Fatties, and it's just like
That's exactly
this
what it
crude,
was.
like, fat jokes and like body, like bathroom humor, and it just started to feel like that.
There's so many strange little montages where it's like they would just let Kevin James just like move around the room strangely.
Yeah, you just like if,
Like there's
if
several
they
of
needed
them.
something to fill
It's
the
like more
void,
than
they're
one. It's like, okay, Kevin, just go be fat in a room.
He must be exhausted.
Yeah, because he moves a lot. Like that's like his thing. But it's like I swear they were just like they just let him loose a couple times. Like just go be fat. Just do fat stuff in the room.
Yeah.
You're in a room for a minute. What's with the bird?
Oh yeah,
There's
the
a weird
bird.
sequence where he goes out.
They
and
treated that thing like it was a velociraptor.
It was just weird though. Why would a hotel have a little garden?
And then the
guy played a piano.
That was actually my favorite character because he was so weird. The guy just played the piano while Kevin James was attacked by this bird.
It was
This
strange.
happened. This was a scene. And the whole time the piano guy was just looking at Kevin James and not helping him.
Yeah.
Kevin James was like, "Thanks for the help," and he's just
But it was like in
looks
this
out and
weird
plays
little
the piano.
isolated zone of the hotel
Yeah.
where it's like
I wanna
there's
know
really
more about the
decorated and
piano
lit.
guy.
The piano it's like it was a trap.
Yeah.
The guy somehow this crazy guy plays the piano. Got this little corner of the hotel. He
I
set up
wanted
this
more of
little
that. I was
average-
enjoying that. I was enjoying the piano guy so much because it was so weird.
It was just like they needed to pad out the script. It's like, what if he goes
It's-
outside and he has
is
to
he-
fight a bird?
Who plays that guy? Because no one's there to enjoy it.
I don't know. Cause yeah, like I thought he was gonna walk in on a wedding.
Play
The way it
us
was all
the
decked out.
song, you're the piano man. Like he just sits out there.
Anyway, Paul Blart, you're probably not gonna see it. I mean, I definitely wouldn't recommend you see it.
I mean, the children in front of us didn't seem to like it.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people. There was more crowd reaction, more positive crowd
I
reaction
didn't
from this
expect
movie
to like hate it
than anything I've
but
seen in a while.
I thoroughly had a horrible time.
That was bad.
But
Anyway,
you know, can't
That's Blart.
win them all. That's Blart.